a place you gotta see, a land of discovery, Mystery Island. Come on! Won't you come along with me? Mystery Island, hoo-ha! Mystery Island, hoo.
Welcome back to Mystery Island. Today is Wednesday, August 5th. And it's day 3 of our virtual VBS.
I hope you all are having as much fun as we are.
This week is passing way too quickly. Now it's time to place the medallion sticker on your Mystery Island treasure map.
Today's stop 3, the Great White Gulf, where we will meet Clark the Great White Shark and find out that God is ruler.
Yes, and our verse for today is Isaiah 6:3. And one called to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory.
We will also be learning about that God is majestic King who is holy and perfect from Miss Molly.
Check out my baby bottle from the Blue Ridge Pregnancy Center. My goal is to fill it to the top.
That's awesome. Well, I think I'm ready to get started.
Me too. Let's do this.
There's a place you gotta see, a land of discovery, Mystery Island. Come on! Won't you come along with me? Mystery Island, hoo-ha! Mystery Island, hoo.
Hey, it's me. No, the coast is clear and no one's around. Oh, yes, so easy. I mean, they fell for it hook, line, and sinker. You know, I kind of like this dressing up business, looking all official, feeling important. Makes me think I should have been a lawyer for real. Oh, wait. Someone is coming. Oh, well, I don't know about Christmas, Mom. You know how much I hate to travel during the holidays. And besides, I have a big case I'll be working on about you know, big, important stuff. Listen, I'm going to have to call you back. What do you want?
I think I'm supposed to ask you that.
What?
You know, like, what would you like? We have cold drinks, ice cream, giant pretzels.
Oh, no thanks.
But are you sure? Because I'd really like to serve you.
Yeah, that's nice, kid, but I'm good, really. Why are you still standing there?
Because Miss Mabry says I need to get my feet wet.
What?
You know, get my feet wet. I've never done this job before. Or any job before. So I really need some experience. And especially this week, because we only have 3 guests. But next week...
Yeah, okay, fine. Just give me water with a lemon.
Really? Okay. So you want 1 water with... What did you say again?
Oh, dear goodness. Lemon.
Okay. Lemon. Oh, no. My pen just ran out of ink. What am I going to do?
Okay, let's see. Maybe you could just memorize the order.
Yeah, I suppose I could. So wait, what did you say you wanted again?
A water with a lemon.
A water with a lemon. Coming right up.
Yeah, sorry about that. It was some kid who's trying to be a waiter. Anyway, so they are on the trail now, and I should have something of value in my hot little hands very soon. Yeah, don't worry. I mean, one way or another, I'm getting that treasure.
Ma'am? Miss Henson? Where did she go? Boy, it isn't easy being a waiter. A water with a lemon, huh? Could use a little sugar. Miss Mabry, hi.
I believe you have work to do, young lady.
I was working. I tried to take Miss Henson's order, but then she just disappeared.
Come here.
What?
Your tag's sticking out.
Oh, is that it? I thought I was in trouble.
What's that on your elbow?
My what? My elbow? Oh no, I'm so sorry. Now I really am in trouble. Oh no, it's a detective. I gotta get out of here.
So you think you can drive better than I?
That's correct.
And that is where you are wrong, because you forget the simple fact that I am a trained officer of the law. Besides, what is one little scratch and dent when you consider the important work that we are doing?
Hello, Detective No Clue.
It is pronounced no clue.
Oh, I'm sorry, have I been saying it wrong this whole time?
You have, madame.
Oh, so it's na clue.
Yes, that is what I said.
All right, well, I'll try to remember that. So, what brings you to Buccaneer Bay?
Official police business. Stanley?
Right. The Mystery Island Police Department, in an effort to improve its services, is conducting a survey to see how citizens feel about the effectiveness of the department. Therefore, your participation is very much appreciated.
Interesting. So, who came up with these questions?
I did.
That's what I thought. So, you want me to answer these, huh?
Yes, please.
All right.
So, the first question is, true or false? On a scale of 1 to 10, how effective is the Mystery Island Police Department?
And you want me to answer true or false?
That is correct.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I'll say false.
Is that your final answer?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Next question. Yes or no? When you have a problem, would you rather call Mystery Island Police Department?
Or
Or what?
exactly, isn't the question missing something?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, you know what? Never mind. I'll just say no.
Okay. Next question.
No clue here. Yes. Yes. I see. Yes. We'll be right there. So he's up to his old tricks.
What is it?
There seems to have been a robbery at the Pirate Museum. Captain Hook's hook is missing.
Oh no!
Yes. No doubt the work of Mrs. Gino Patel, international antiquities thief, otherwise known as the Snake.
Oh, how do you know who did it? Who it was?
It is my business to know, but don't worry. We will find her and we will bring her to justice. Rest assured of that. Well, it is a pity that we cannot complete the survey, but we must leave immediately. Come, Stanley.
Yes, Detective.
Detective,
What is it?
your car's that way.
Yes, I know that. Of course I know that. I just
Right.
wanted to see if you knew that. Good day.
See you later.
Miss Mabry,
Oh, yes.
why were the police here?
Oh, just conducting a silly survey, but then they had to rush off because the Pirate Museum was just robbed.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I
terrible.
know.
Did they catch the thief?
I don't think so.
Well, hopefully they'll catch him soon.
Yeah, right. There's little chance of that as long as Detective Clue is involved. I just hate that there's a criminal element on that island. Oh, the Richardsons, you guys are back. How did it go?
Who cut the tree down? we got lost a couple of times, and we almost gave up.
But we got into a groove and started hitting the checkpoint. It was really hard, though.
It's hot.
So, did you find the artifact?
I sure did. Would you like to see it?
Would I? I mean, of course I would.
It's certainly not Captain Scurvyleg's gold, but we're one step closer to the treasure, right?
Oh, wow.
I know. It's got to be worth something, don't you think?
Oh, well, hold on just a minute. According to your uncle, give me just a moment. He gave me some information. Okay, here we go. According to your uncle, it's over 1,000 years old, and let's see, and belonged to King Mu of Narun.
It's Masu Lamu.
Oh, you've heard of him?
Oh, well, I might have.
Wow, I'm impressed.
So what else does it say about King Mu?
Okay, all right. Well, let me see here. Let me find, where was that? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. He became king when he was 12 years old.
12 years old?
Oh, yeah, and he was a good king at first. All right, and then it says, but then as his kingdom grew and he became powerful, he changed and became terribly ruthless and cruel. Wow, how sad is that?
So he began well, but didn't end well. Just like so many others.
Yeah, there's only one king that'll always be good and just. Only one that will never change, and that's God himself. He's the king of the universe.
But if that's true, if he really is king of the universe,
Right.
then why does he allow evil kings like King Mu?
Oh, well, because of sin, that's why. You see in the beginning, when everything was good, God set some rules, but Adam and Eve, the first humans, they disobeyed. And that resulted in a curse on everything.
So that's why bad things happen, because of a curse?
Yeah, pretty much.
But still, why did God allow it to work out that way? Like, couldn't he have chosen it to be different?
No, because he never makes a mistake. This isn't plan B. You see, God's holy, which means his character is perfect and his ways are infinitely higher than ours. So we have to trust him. The problem is our thoughts about God are way too small, and he's so much bigger than we could ever imagine.
So listen, how about if I hold on to that crown while you start the next leg?
Start the next leg, lady? You can't be serious. Can't wait till the morning?
Yeah, we're pretty tuckered out.
Absolutely. You guys go enjoy your evening. You've definitely earned it.
Right. But listen, we meet back here first thing in the morning, 7 a.m.
Okay,
Can't we make it 8?
There's a place you gotta see, a land of discovery, Mystery Island. Come on! Won't you come along with me? Mystery Island, hoo-ha! Mystery Island, hoo.
Welcome back, boys and girls, to Mystery Island and to our Lighthouse lesson. Today we're going to learn about a prophet named Isaiah. But first of all, we're going to learn about our animal pal. He is Clark, the great white shark. And my helper, Tegan, is going to hold up this poster so you can see Clark. Clark, we're going to learn about God as ruler. God is ruler of the universe, or king of the universe. And Clark, the great white shark, kind of rules the area he lives in. Because if you've ever been to the beach, when you have a shark alert, you know you don't go in the water. So Clark the shark is our animal pal for today. And also, as we put him back in the treasure chest, we're going to have Tegan put the medallion on the treasure map from Clark the Shark lives there, and he's going to Jellyfish Lagoon. I almost forgot where he was going, but he knows where he's going. Anyway, we're going to learn about Isaiah the prophet and the vision that he saw. Now, a vision is very similar to a dream. You don't have to be asleep to have this vision, though. You can be wide awake. And Isaiah had a vision. And in Isaiah, in the Bible, it tells us about this vision. Isaiah was a prophet, and a prophet is a person who God has called to tell other people about his word. So in Isaiah chapter 6, we're going to start in verse 1. In the year that King Uzziah died, we're going to learn. We have a poster here, and Tegan's going to fill in some blanks for you as we go. King Uzziah died, but there's a missing word, and we're going to figure out the missing word. King Uzziah died. All earthly kings and rulers die at one time or another. They have a beginning and they have an end. But we're going to learn that God is the eternal ruler. He has no beginning and he has no end. He will live forever, and he will forever be our ruler. And so King Uzziah died, but God is, that's right, God is alive. And Tegan's going to write alive right there. Don't push too hard. And as we learned, King Uzziah was a famous king. He had ruled over God's chosen people for 50-some years. And he was a good king, but he died. And as I had mentioned, all earthly rulers die, but God never will. And so as we come to know God as the king of our life, he will live forever and he will rule forever. God doesn't die. He is eternal. The next blank we have, and if you look in your packet, you will have a paper similar to the poster that Tegan is working on. You should have a paper that looks like this, and you can go along and fill in the blanks. You can also draw pictures on there if you'd like, because as you see a picture on the poster, we have a picture of King Uzziah in his bed where he has died. And so you can draw pictures on your poster as well. So the second thing that Uzziah saw, he saw in this vision as God was revealing to him, he saw where King Uzziah had died. And then Isaiah did something else. He said, I saw the Lord seated on a throne. He looked heavenward. He looked up. And as he looked up, he saw the throne of the missing word. That's right, Lord. He saw the throne of the Lord. And God has a special throne. There are other thrones of people who rule and sit on thrones that we know of. You've probably seen pictures of kings or queens sitting on a throne or other rulers. But God's throne is so special. It is so magnificent. It is huge. We don't really know for sure what it looks like, but his Bible tells us that his throne was high and exalted. So that means it is way bigger than anything we could imagine. And so that's our third blank. Our second blank that we filled in was the throne of the Lord. And as Isaiah looked heavenward, he saw that throne. God sits on that throne, and he rules from that throne, and nothing can stop what God has planned to do. He tells us in his Bible in Jeremiah 29:11 that God has plans for us. He knows the plans he has for us. And then Isaiah saw something else. As he looked in the temple, he saw something else. He saw God sitting on the throne, high and exalted, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Have you ever seen a king dressed in a robe? I'm sure you have in Christmas pageants and different stories that you've watched. Well, years ago, robes indicated how important a king was. If his robe was very short, he might not have been real important. But if his robe was kind of midway down his legs, he was more important. But if his robe went all the way to the floor, he was very important. And when the people saw that, they recognized how important their king or their ruler was. But when Isaiah looked into the temple in this vision that he saw, guess what he saw about God's robe? It's incredible. God's robe was so long and so beautiful, it filled the entire temple. Now imagine that if this were the temple that Isaiah was in, that we're in today, that when you saw God and his throne was here, that as his robe went out, it filled this entire place. It covered up everything. There would be nothing in this place that was not covered with God's robe. That's how important he is, that his robe could cover the, let's fill in the blank. The temple with the robe could fill the globe. That's right. It could cover the entire universe. God's robe is so big and so magnificent that it filled the entire temple. Isaiah was amazed at this, and so would I be. I can't imagine. But we now, if you want to draw a robe on your paper that you have in your packet, feel free to draw all the pictures you want to on that. It helps you remember what the lesson is about. And so we see here that as God's robe flowed, it was huge, and it just reflected how magnificent God really is. Isaiah saw something else in that. And in the verse it says, in the next verse, in chapter 6, verse 2, it says, above him were seraphs, each with 6 wings. Now, I don't know for sure if you might know what a seraph is, but a seraph is a special angel. Angels are messengers that God has called to do special work. And these seraphs were even more special in the way they looked. They were very different. When you think about an angel, what do you think about? Usually when I think about an angel, I think about someone in a long, white, flowing robe with 2 wings. That's my image of an angel. But these were different. These were very different. And only Isaiah, as a person on earth, is the only one who ever saw these. They had, guess how many wings? They had 6 wings. Yep, they had 6 wings, not only 2. And so the seraphim fly, and they covered their eyes. So as the seraphim flew, they were also showing respect to God. When they covered their eyes or their face, that showed that they were respecting God as being the ruler. They had a real respect for him, and they honored God by covering their face with 2 of their wings. With another 2 of their wings, they covered their feet. Now, our feet covered shows a sign of humility. They were humbling themselves before God. They were very special, and they were called to do a special work, but in no way would they ever want to brag or boast about who they were or what they had, because they had more wings than other angels, but they covered their feet in humility and humbled themselves before God. So with the other 2 wings, they were flying. And as they were flying, they were serving God. And you know, that's what we're called to do as children of God. We're called to honor him, to humble ourselves before him, and to serve him. And so this is what the seraphs did. So when you hear the term seraph or seraphim, you remember the special angels that were called to serve God and to honor him. Now, Isaiah has seen some really special and amazing things. Now he's going to hear something. He's going to hear something very important. As the seraphs flew, I'm going to start over with verse 2. Above him were seraphs, each with 6 wings. With 2 they covered their faces, with 2 they covered their feet, and with 2 they were flying. And they were calling to one another, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. Now, when someone says something to you and they say it 3 times, that means it's important. I'm sure some of you have had your parents say something to you like, listen, listen, listen. And they really want your attention. They mean for you to pay attention to what they're saying. If someone says something 3 times, it's really important. And as the seraphs were flying, they were calling to one another, saying, Holy, holy, holy. They were really emphasizing how holy God is. Do you know what holy means? Holy means to be set apart. God is like no other ruler. He is special. He is in a category all by himself. God is pure. He is perfect. He never does or thinks anything wrong or anything bad. God is everything good. And isn't that incredible? Because I'm not everything good by any imagination. And you've probably done some things that weren't perfect either. But God has called us to be holy as he is holy, because when we love the Lord, we want to serve him and honor him, and we also want to be set apart for a special work that God has for us to do. Now, every good and every perfect thing comes from God. If you look in your Bible in James chapter 1, verse 7, he says, every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. God never changes. As you will find out in our lessons as we go through this week, God never changes. He is always perfect, he is always good, and he is always holy. So every good thing we have, all the good food you eat, the parents you have, your home you live in, this church we get to come to when we can, all the teachers that you have, the people in your life that love you, all of these good gifts come from God. God has provided all of the good things for you, and he will always be a God who is good, who is holy. And that takes us to our memory verse. Our memory verse is Isaiah chapter 6, verse 3. It says, and one called to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. Isaiah 6:3. So remember that when you're thinking about God, just how holy he really is. And he's perfect, and he never does anything wrong. Now let's go over our rhyme from the beginning. Oh, Tegan, I forgot to have you fill in the blank. The seraphim fly, and they covered their eyes. And then the word that was heard, super important word. Okay, we have one last fill in the blank. And this is to tell your story about God's, what's a word that rhymes with story? Let me think. Glory. That's it. Glory. Tell your story about God's glory. And God's glory, that may be another word you don't hear a whole lot. But when you think about glory, what do you think about? You think about something that brings honor to someone. If you've ever done something really neat, really good, you've been very obedient, and someone gives you praise for that. If you play sports and you've been a really good ball player that day, if you made a home run, somebody's going to really cheer and say, man, you were great today. Or when you learned to ride your bike without training wheels, they said, man, that is really neat. And all the things that you can do that people will praise you for, they're bringing glory to you. And so when we bring praise to God, we're bringing glory to him for all the great things that he does for us. And so that helps us to understand what it means for someone to get glory. And we are to give God all the glory for everything he does. And we want to look at the end of our verse that says, the whole earth was filled with God's glory. So let's think about how the earth is filled with God's glory. All right, when you look at the sky at night, whoops, I'm having a crash. When you look at the sky at night and you look up and you see all those beautiful stars and the moon that God created, and you think how beautiful they are, and God even named the stars, and only God could have put all that in place. If you've ever been privileged to look through a telescope where you can see beyond that, you can see even more of God's magnificent work, all the things he created. Well, when you look at the daytime sky, you see the sunshine, the beautiful sunshine that keeps us warm. In these past few days, it has really kept us warm. So we look at the sun and the beautiful fluffy clouds, and we think how pretty that is. We also see the rain and the snow. And have you ever caught a snowflake and you see how tiny it is? And then all those millions of snowflakes pile up together. It lets you build snowmen and throw snowballs at each other. This is all the magnificent work of God, and it all brings glory to Him. Yes, it says the earth is full of His glory, but the earth itself does not speak out loud to you like I'm talking today, but it speaks to you through the things God created. And if you look around your home and you see the trees and the flowers, the birds and the bees and all the things that you like to touch and feel, or if you've ever stood on the ocean and you looked out over that ocean and you saw how big it is, you can't even see the other side of it. It's so magnificent. God's creation is amazing. And then you like to get in that ocean when those big waves break and toss down your boogie board or your surfboard and you ride that surf to the sand. And then you stand on the sand and you look and you see this tiny little critter, like a little sand crab, and he's running through the sand, and then he bores a hole and he disappears. All of this creation brings glory and honor to God. So when we think about God, He is so magnificent. He is so amazing as our eternal ruler. And God is ruler over everything. And you know what's even more special? God created you to bring glory to Him. We are God's creation, specially made to bring glory and honor to God. And that's how we should live our life. As we live each day, we should live in obedience not only to our parents and our teachers and others in authority, but we should always live in obedience to God. And in that way, we will bring that glory to God that He has called us to do. Now, sometime today, when you have time, think about something you have seen that shows God's glory and draw it in one of these spaces. Space number 6, you can draw something that you have especially seen, maybe at the zoo or on the beach or somewhere else on vacation you have been. Just think about something, or maybe even something right in your very own home or your own yard. Just think of something that you have seen that brings glory to God, and let that remind you that we are also called to bring glory to God. Thank you for being with us today, and I hope you'll be sure and come back tomorrow.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Craft Corner at Mystery Island. Today, we're going to be making a shell necklace. So in your bag that you've received, you should have some black elastic string for your necklace. You should have a shell and some beads to help decorate your necklace. So there's going to be 2 different ways to do this. I'm going to do it one way. Braxton's here helping us today, and he's going to be doing it a simpler way, so you could watch both of us and see which way you would prefer. I think, are you going to do the harder way?
I don't know. I think I'm going to watch both of you and then decide.
All right, so my way, I'm going to take my string and I'm going to double it up and line up my edges, my ends. Okay? And then I'm going to stick it through the hole that's already in your shell. Now, Braxton, he's just going to put one end through his shell. So his is going to be a little bit simpler, a little bit easier.
And if you notice the end of your cord is looking like a little bit frayed,
Yes.
you can always take a pair of scissors and give it a good clean cut, and sometimes that'll help it get through the hole in your shell a little bit easier.
Okay, so I've got it through my shell, and I have a loop on one end. I'm going to open up the loop and bring the ends through, and then kind of pull it tight. And there, you have your shell on the end there, kind of like your pendant.
Braxton, you want to
And
show your
Braxton?
version too?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you just do is you just get the string and just put it through the hole once.
Yep.
One time.
You got it.
Just pull it to the middle.
So you could choose either way. So now I'm going to grab a few beads. I think I'm going to do maybe this really cool green. You can make a pattern. You can do whatever. I'm just going to put one on each one. Kind of slide it down there.
This is going to make you feel like you're right here with us
I
on Mystery
know.
Island with your own
How
shell
exciting.
necklace.
These are going to be so cool. I'm going to have to wear mine.
That's right. When we all get back together, I hope to see C4 kids coming right in here wearing all these cool things that we're making this week.
So I'm just easy peasy, just putting the beads on the cord. I'm not sure how many beads will they be getting, Jennifer? Do you know?
That is a good question. We'll probably give you just a good handful, a little
Okay.
assortment, and then you can just make it your own.
And you may have some beads at home, and if you want to add those, you can do that as well.
That's a good point.
Now,
So,
Braxton's just putting his, we're doing ours. Like I said, his is going to be a little bit different. I think I'm going to be done with mine. I'm not sure if I'm going to add any more. So I am going to tie it off. And what I like to do is I just like to put the two together, just kind of wrap it around my finger, and kind of bring it through and make a knot that way. And if you need help from mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or whoever's there to help you, they can do that too. And there we go. Mine might be a little short. If you need to trim the ends, you can. Do you need help, Braxton?
Yeah.
You got yours?
I was going to say, maybe not one more for us there, Miss Tracy,
Can you
and
do
show
mine?
us
Let me
exactly
show-
what to
okay.
do.
So I'm going to take it like this. They're together. I'm going to wrap it around my finger, kind of make a circle, and then I'm going to pull the ends through, and then just pull it tight. And then that will make your knot. All right, Braxton?
Thank you.
So this is my end product, and they're all going to look different. It's okay. You make it however you want.
Cool. I like them.
I do too, actually. I think I'm going to put mine on.
All right. And this is your next craft for the week.
Yes.
Have fun.
Yes. See you tomorrow.
See you.